Hello and welcome to Monday Night Football, SRL fans. You will find us up here in Brisbane at Suncorp Stadium, where the Broncos are hosting the Sydney Roosters and Snicko Bros fanatic fans. I am AMAC in the box, and joining me tonight is Jordan Lewis. Jordan, how good is it out here at Suncorp Stadium?
Oh, mate, it's always great to be here at Lang Park. Caxton Street was absolutely buzzing tonight. Normally it is a sea of maroon, but you are right. These Sydney Roosters, for some reason, they have fans and they have travelled up north. It was certainly a bit of a back and forth between them at the old Caxton Street Hotel there. I can tell you that for a fact right now.
Oh, Caxton is a scary place if you are not a local, and I can't imagine that some of those Roosters fans are finding it very happy right now. We've got an excellent game up tonight. We've got the Roosters sitting in 12th up against the Broncos in 14th. Two teams who have had very different sets of circumstances so far this season, Jordan.
That's absolutely right. We are effectively the second worst attack versus the second worst defense. But of course, that just means that, you know what, we're probably going to see the tries flow. It's going to be a great game of football as we'll see Buckley take the kickoff tonight.
And the Broncos, they're going to be wanting a good hit out tonight against the Roosters. They're usually fairly strong here at Suncorp Stadium, but they will definitely be hoping some of their boys fire up tonight after the only real Bronco to fire up last week was Anthony Lee scoring a double, scoring his first double in SRL history here, Jordan.
Yep, Anthony Lee absolutely answered the challenge, and you're right. I happen to be calling that game. We did have some technical difficulties, of course, but no, Anthony Lee absolutely stepped up there. As we see, he tries to do the same there again with that little step out of the line there. What I would be keen to see, based on last week, is if the issues with the darts from dummy half have been rectified here.
Yeah, I think. Oh, that was
Oh.
well. The Broncos had a really good set up the field, got into some real good kicking position, and unfortunately, a bit of a shanked kick saw all of that failed. And well, I don't want to say this is hallmarks of last week, Jordan, but things need to improve if the Broncos want to win tonight.
They absolutely do. And again, you can already see that Jack Carl's getting on the case for that kick there. Kicking was also a bit of an issue we did notice last week too. Again, you've got to hope that they can just learn from this. The Brisbane fans here, they're parochial. They're loud. They want their boys to do well. And we want a good game up here tonight as well.
As the Roosters, they get up to the 30 and a good set starting from them. Now, the Roosters, they had a massive win against their opposition last week, and I think Snicko Bro, he's going to want his boys to fire up just as well as they did, because they might have been versing the Bulldogs last week, but a good win is a good win, Jordan.
Again, absolutely can't say anything else apart from that. You know, you can only play the team that's in front of you. And if the Roosters do think that that win means that they're going to get away with the Chockies again tonight, well, they got another thing coming. This Brisbane outfit is raring it to make up for lost ground last night. Oh, last week,
As
sorry.
Yeah, as Liam Ryan darts out of dummy half there to try to get over the 50, can't quite make it, and Jet Davis has to kick his way down the field. Jet Davis, I might add, has had a wonderful season off the boot so far. He's currently sitting with the record for season 2.1 at 421 kicking meters. Oh, Brev just cops one in the face. The Roosters, though, they're trapped down here at the moment, Jordan.
They are, and this is something, having had a chat with Jack Carhill, he said that he wanted his boys to really focus on tonight. He wants it to make like Millionaire Hot Seat and just lock it down, Eddie.
As we know, we won't see a kick here, but the inside-outside, very interesting pass there to Schrodinger as they get up over the 40, and the Roosters struggling. It looks like the Broncos have definitely turned up in defence here, as man plugs it off down the field, and here comes Madden, who gets around the first line of defence. Can't get around the second Snicko Bro there, but he does get over the 40, and this is the Broncos starting in some excellent field position here, Jordan.
Absolutely can't ask for a better start here than what they've got right now. They've second on the 50-meter line. They're making break after break, and Jack Howell, he's going through again. This is exactly what you want from a captain there, to just stand up and show them, boys, this is how it's done.
Now, we haven't covered the team list this week because there haven't really been any changes from both sides, bar the one change from a little debutant coming into the Broncos side in about 12 or so minutes, but we'll hold off to announce him until he runs off onto the field. Oh my goodness, there we go. The Broncos are the first to hit out from what looked like a bit of a nothing of a kick there, Jordan.
Absolutely, that was just bottled by the Roosters. Snicko, he's standing there, he's dumbfounded, and I can't blame him. That was just, I don't know what was read in that defence, but the Broncos, they have absolutely pounced on a crucial opportunity here, and we'll see Liam Ryan, he'll line up for the kick and hopefully nail this one through.
All I can think is that Ross Buckley was thinking, hopefully it's going to roll off on down the field. He's going to earn his team a 7-tackle set, but it held up and Lachlan Holmes just dived onto it. One hell of a lapse here tonight. I don't think the Roosters are going to make that mistake again, Jordan.
Well, you would hope not, but again, this rugby league's a funny old game, and well, I mean that just proved it. A little bit of a misread in defence, and all of a sudden, Brisbane are up 4-0. Obviously, shanked kick there. They'll be looking to probably recreate that, you would think.
As Caleb J, good return so far from the half, gets up to the 30. Carl, good hit up from the captain. Another good strong run, post-contact meters, almost getting to the 40 for the second. Coming wide now with Jay, and it's picked off by Luke Brev. And didn't the Brev brothers have a hit out last week? Both brothers getting over for their own score in the massive win against the Bulldogs.
Absolutely, they did. And again, you'll be looking towards those Brevs to try and get that done again. Obviously, most of these games they're won through the middle, but we've noticed actually in SRL 2.0 that it usually is the centres that seem to be singing a bit more lately.
Yeah, the centres, the attacking teams, they've got together and they're making sure that their centres... Oh, okay, they didn't get over. Making sure that their centres are pinging up and down the side tram tracks there. But unfortunately, put onto his back there over the line. The Roosters, they'll have to bring it back. But this is this danger signs here for the Broncos, I think, Jordan.
Well, again, if we extrapolate from last week, then absolutely. But I don't think that this is where they will end up. We're only on the 5th here. They're going to try and, again, this was an issue that we did see last week too. A lot of the teams are just not opting to go for the kick anymore. They're either running it or they're trying for a little grubbler. Didn't pay off in that occasion.
Yeah. Well, I don't mind running it on the 5th too much, but as Ryan gets around one and runs off down the field, lovely offload to Rossini, but he is brought down. I don't mind the 7-tackle, the running it on the 5th tackle, but when you're in that much of a field position, it's kind of important that boot goes to ball and you at least try to get over the line there.
Absolutely right there. Liam is going through right now. He'll take that down on the 50. And again, we're just hoping that this Broncos attack, they've seemed to have woken up a bit. We're not seeing as many of those little darts out of dummy half as they used to do. Mikaya will take that down onto the 40. 52 metres in that set. They've just got to see if they can pin them down with a good punt.
As Davis does just that, and Chapman decides to actually catch it and run off up down the field this time. But thankfully, Liam Ryan's there and brings him down just on the 30. We've got about 7 minutes until that halftime, or halfway through the sub interchange. We've got Joins and Hogan coming on for the Roosters, both strong props coming in off the bench. On the other side, Broncos, they will be welcoming their debutant tonight, Jordan.
That's right. The famous rugby league YouTuber himself, The Leaguey, will be making his debut tonight. It's been very well anticipated here. Courier Mail had a big middle page spread all for it. These Brisbane boys, they're really looking forward to seeing a bit of class come towards Brisbane.
As Madden, unfortunately, is forced back and is unable to get much past the 10-metre line. First tackle. All of the field to play with, and Jet Davis loves lovely ball to Carl as he breaks up over the 30. Here come the Broncos yet again. Rossini, line ball out to Jay, who was just on the advantage line, who gets up just shy of the 50. Third tackle. Continuing that way, Dingo back on the inside to Ryan, who wears one, somehow gets it off to Rossini, and it looks like the Roosters, they've woken up themselves now, Jordan, and they're not giving as much as they were.
Well, it's all coming down to the captaincy of Snicko Bro there. He's been telling his troops to absolutely man up in defence, that they can't let this Brisbane attack get to them. And we've seen Brisbane absolutely tearing into shreds all night, and I think Sydney, they just want to be playing this one for pride now.
As the Roosters, they're going to be fighting out of their 10-metre right now, and at the moment, they're just on their second on the other side of the 10. Matthews, Schrodinger up the middle, hits the line and is forced down 20 metres out, third tackle. Ooh, good dart out of dummy half there from Matthews, but he only really makes about 10 metres, 34th tackle. The Broncos, they are loving this at the moment, and they are forcing the Roosters to kick on their 40. Well, in fact, it'll probably be 10 metres behind their 40. And if this works well, the Broncos might be able to get another try at the end of this set here, Jordan.
You would hope so. Again, the attack that's just been absolutely phenomenal from the Broncos here. Sorry, just getting a couple of notes come through our set piece here. But you know, the Broncos have been absolutely phenomenal in attack all night. And this Sydney defence, it's been pretty lucky to hold out as much as it has. But again, with Micaiah, he's just been breaking tackle after tackle. It would not surprise me to see him breaking probably close to 80 metres at the halftime mark, you would think.
Yep, and it's good to see some of those big boys making those 80, 90, 100 metres in that first half, as Rossini, hit hard by some defence there. They choose not to go for the 40-20, which probably saved them a bit of a dropped ball there. The Broncos forcing to kick down, and Buckley, for all that he's worth, is probably going to want to make his way up the field, or Snicko Bro is not going to be very happy with his winger there.
Absolutely not. But again, I don't know what else you could really do there. That kick was pinpoint. If he had even taken a step further back than that, oh no, that is not good. Looks like Shaq Daddy, he looks like he's done something to his thigh. He's holding that pretty dearly. That old Charlie horse there, it looks like.
Well, and isn't that one hell of a breakdown there for the Roosters? They've lost their star prop less than 20 minutes into the game. This is going to be hard for the bench interchanges at halftime to come up with how they're going to strategize their way out of this one, Jordan.
Absolutely, and this is something that I know for a fact that we've been saying has been pretty key all week, is trying to work on that fitness. It seems that it's really come to bite Sydney in the bum right here tonight. We'll see what they can do to make up for it.
As Jay, lovely offload there to Mahana Olu, fresh off the bench. He is on the field. We'll wait for our first touch by the leaguey, and that was a horrible service there from Rossini, and Captain Carl somehow comes up with it to save that third tackle. Going wide, Davis just takes a settler, doesn't realise that it is only the fourth. And Rossini darts out a dummy half and doesn't really make much of it beyond getting up to the 30. So here we go. The Broncos not really in attacking position here, but they are definitely winning this field position battle, Jordan.
Again, absolutely. They're pinning them back. But as soon as we say that, Chapman with a great break there, getting them all the way to the 30, this might be the start of something that the Roosters needed right now. But as soon as we say that again, the commentator's curse is real up here tonight, folks. Let me tell you.
Talk about a captain's knock so far tonight from Carl as he gets his team just over the 20, second tackle. Here we go, the Broncos in damaging territory now as Martin offloads to Davis. Lovely ball to Lee. Can't do much with it though, he's forced back. 15 metres out, third tackle. Slow play of the ball, the Roosters want their defence in position as Davis just takes the settler. Good post-contact metres, 6 metres out, again, slow in the ruck. Lee, lovely bullet pass out to Madden, and he is over. That is both Broncos wingers and a very shocked-looking Roosters outfit there, Jordan.
Absolutely. Again, the referee saying this up is no try. I think he's just wanting to check the bobble there, but for all money, I reckon he's got that down.
Oh, that's going to be tough.
Hang on.
No.
He may not.
No try. Well, that's we've had now two bobbles, shall we say, from number 5s out there tonight, and I don't know about you, Jordan, but I can hear Jack Carl absolutely blowing up at his winger from up here in the bench.
He is. He can. That's exactly why Madden. It looks like he's just tried to shore up in defence, try to make up for that one. That was something. It was just a little bobble right at the end there. He hasn't had a good grip on that one, and I guess that's why they pay the referees the big bucks to be down there. They can see things that we just can't.
And Brev, lovely dart out of dummy half there, but can't make much more than just shy of the 45th tackle. Snicko Bro, very happy with Chapman at the moment, but his team, they need to get on their bikes because they're not really getting into attacking position with how dominant the Broncos have been so far tonight.
They haven't, but it's not really much you can do when the forward pack is rumbling through it. It seems that that's just how the Broncos have been doing. They've been killing them up the middle.
As Mahana Olu, speak of the devil. There's the leaguey, but he takes it unselfishly off to Lachlan Martin. About to talk about his long-lost cousin Trent Martin there for a second. The Broncos linking up with Davis. Jay, lovely ball out to Ryan. Ryan, who has had a very quiet night tonight so far. As you said, it's mostly been the Broncos forwards pounding up the middle. They haven't really needed their star fullback, Jordan.
No, absolutely right. And sometimes, look, if you can win the forward battle, then all you really need the fullback to do is just stand there and, take the icing, put the icing on the cake there. But again, that Broncos forward pack, this has been an absolute turnaround from last week for them.
As Bro, there he is, his first big touch of the night, and he's, well, again, we talked about Liam Ryan not really having much impact. Snicko Bro has been doing so much defence, he hasn't had a chance to do much running. As Hogan gets up over the 40, Matthews out of dummy half, thinks he sees a gap, but it is closed very quickly by some strong defence as Bro tries a little dart and is forced back. Fifth tackle, 45 metres from the line, and the Roosters forced to kick off again. We got about 12 minutes left in the half. The Broncos, their ascendancy is working pretty well down the field. What do the Roosters need to do to get back into this game so far, Jordan?
Well, frankly, I don't know how much they can do about it since that as you mentioned, one of their star props is now hurt. What they really need to do is just tell their middles to just keep their head in the game. It looks like they've come out from last week. They've gone, great, we've got a good win. We're coming up against a Brisbane Broncos outfit in Brisbane that got flogged last week. We can do the same thing and just get away with it. And they need to realise that each game is different. And if you let this forward pack dominate you like they have, you're not going to get anywhere else. The outbacks need their defensive line to work.
As Davis, a lovely kick. They are absolutely peppering Buckley over there on that wing, and no surprise why, considering what happened earlier. 10 minutes left in the half, and the Roosters, they're starting on the 30. A good field position here if they can make a couple of breaks. But Maikazi is forced dead down shy of the 40. Second tackle. Here we go. Going down the blind. Dolan, lovely ball to Gooch. Gooch, again, forced back. This Broncos outfit is stalwart in defence. Third tackle, they go down the blind once more as Buckley dances with the sideline. They're now in the Broncos half, but it's already the fourth tackle. They need a good run here. And that's the opposite of what they needed as the Broncos capitalise on a lovely, lovely error from their perspective. Zero tackle. This is going to be another good attacking position if they can get down the field here, Jordan.
Absolutely. They've just been gifted that one. If I'm the Roosters coach, that's the other thing I'm going to be talking to the boys about is just handling errors, keeping the ball in hand and making sure they're doing the 1%ers before trying anything fancy there.
As Carl, another good captain's run, getting just shy of the 20 for his third tackle. They've got 3 to play with, and they've only got 20 metres to go. Holmes, he tries to dance up the sideline, but he's pushed back by some good defence. Fourth tackle. Coming across. Jay just takes the settler, will take him out of kicking position, which means they're probably going to be relying on Jet Davis, or who knows, Carl's done a couple of kicks himself. As speak of Devil, here he comes, but Brev just picks it up out of the hands of the chasing defender, and what looked like an almost certain try is defused. Oh! But Matthew wears one for all of his efforts. This is painful to watch if you're a Roosters fan, Jordan.
Again, it's 4-0, but the score belies what's happening on the ground there. And that was the leaguey with the big hit himself as well. Welcome to the SRL, son. What a good hit.
As we've got, trying to force his way up the field with some good linking up out wide as Chapman, unfortunately, pushed back. The Roosters, they can't make it over the 50. And as you said, there's only 4 points on the board. I think the Broncos, they're probably a little bit hard-pressed that they haven't scored more tonight so far.
Well, absolutely. We've already seen one of their wingers bomb a certain try there. If that had been, we could be potentially looking at 8-0 at the very minimum, you would be thinking. But yeah, the Broncos, look, I don't think that they can really go into the sheds with their heads held low. They're doing everything right. The points will come. They just need to keep their head in the game here.
As Rossini slow play the ball there as Lee links up with Leagy. Lovely ball there. Jay off to Mahana Olu. And we've got another fortune favouring the Broncos over the 50 marks. And the ref has called 0 tackle as the Leagy takes another wonderful hit up. These Broncos forwards are absolutely dominating tonight, Jordan. And I don't know what more can be said, but whatever they breed them up here in Brisbane with them, we need a little bit more of that south of the border.
Well, you got that. It's called 4x gold.
Oh, no, I wouldn't touch that stuff if it was the last thing I had. As Matthews, again, we cursed them by talking about their 4x, and the Roosters, they've come up with the ball here.
Well, it's only to let them have a little bit of fun, I guess, while they're up. But no, that was a very rare error for the Broncos tonight, and hopefully the Roosters can take all advantage of it. As we see Buckley making the big break, he'll get over the 50. I believe that might be one of the first sets for quite a while from Sydney that they've seen this part of the field here, AMAC.
Ooh, very risky offload there from Snicko Bro, but he somehow comes up with it. Oh, the Roosters, they're chancing their hand and throwing it around a bit, which I don't know really why. They're only 4 behind on the board. It's half time. You don't want to give up another error and find yourself 10-0 at the halftime break here, Jordan.
No, that's absolutely right. We were just talking about it not that long ago. If you're the Roosters, what you want to do right now is not try anything fancy. I know that you got the outside backs to make them dance, but if you're not doing the 1%ers, it's not going to do you a whole lot of good.
As Ryan gets up down the field, gets around to Goosey, but is forced back there just shy of the 50, third tackle. This will probably be the last set in the half from the Broncos, and they want a good kick and some good kick defense chase at the end of this set. Here we go with Carl. Lovely ball to Murray as Murray forces his way over the 40 and brought down 35 metres out. 50 seconds left on the clock. The Roosters will have one chance to get up the field if they can't break away here. As Buckley, almost breaks his way up off the field, but Liam Ryan brings him down. So we've talked about what the Roosters need to do. Carl probably going to the halftime break into his shed with some messages to his team to keep it up, keep the pressure on, and make sure that when they come back in the second half, they continue this dominance.
You would think so. He's a very tactical man, is Jack Carl.
And welcome back to the second half here at lovely, beautiful Suncorp Stadium. At the moment, Brisbane are 4 leading the Sydney Roosters 0. And weren't those halftime stats a sight to behold here, Jordan?
Absolutely they were. As much as we were thinking that it was going to be all one-way Brisbane traffic, it really wasn't. Most of the important stats were pretty even. 11 out of 14 completed sets played about 12 out of 10. We had about only 3 errors to 2. Line breaks were dead even. The only thing that was really, really killing the Roosters was weight of possession and metres gained.
Yep. And of course, we had that shock first half injury to Shaq Daddy, who was only on the field for about 19 minutes and was forced off with one hell of a sprain. So the Roosters, they will be playing the rest of the night 1 player down, and they've attempted to kick themselves out of danger here, but the Broncos, they are in some excellent field position early in the half here, Jordan.
Absolutely, and this is something that, I managed to get down to the sheds and just have a word with the captains and see what the word on the street was. Broncos, Jack Carl, he absolutely said the right things that we thought he would. That the game's still there. The game is there. The points will come if they just keep their heads straight and just focus on good, proper footy from here on out. Whereas the Roosters, well, they're at a bit of a loss. They thought that they came into this with a really good defensive plan set up, and it just hasn't panned out. So what they've said is they've got to go back to the basics and just make sure that's nailed down first.
Well, speak of that, the Roosters, they get themselves out of trouble here, and they're finally working themselves back on up the field. Here we go with Brev playing the ball. And what needs to be said is that the fact that the Roosters, they're only 4 behind on the on the scoreboard is a little bit of a miracle because, well, the Broncos, they had way too much ball for 4 points on the board, Jordan.
Exactly right. 58% possession, played 42. It was one of the only key metrics that they really led the Roosters on coming into the second half there. And this means that this game is still very much alive, despite the fact that it's been pretty much Brisbane ball all night.
As the Broncos, they got it on the 30 there. They can't really get much more than up to their 40, but they're already, again, starting in some good field position as Ryan gets up over. Second tackle. They are working as hard as they can as their props, again, doing what they can to power on up the field. Bingo brought down just shy of the 40 for his third. As Jay just takes it for himself. They need another good run here. They need to get further down the field because with the weight of possession that they've had, they need to put some more points on because if they don't, it won't be long before the Roosters come back and put a few more, possibly take the lead out from under them, Jordan.
Well, you would think so, but we've been calling that all night. It hasn't seemed to happen just yet. But as long as the Broncos keep doing the exact thing that they've been doing, with the weight of possession they're getting, the scores will come. This team has the ability to strike out of nowhere, and honestly, if they can do it, they'll do it.
As Gooch is forced back 25 metres out, third tackle. Very slow play of the ball. Not surprising with fitness the way it is at the moment for both of those teams out there. It has been a grinding, grueling defensive match so far. Roosters finding it difficult to get even past their 30 at the moment. Brought down just shy there for their 5th. And here we go with another kick deep in their half. Trying to get themselves out of danger, the vice captain there. And Liam Ryan getting straight on up the field and just shy of the 50. 32 minutes in, and it looks like this is more of what we saw in the first half, Jordan.
Yep, well, the game seems to have continued on from where we are. Most of the time in SRL 2.0, it really is a tale of two halves. But in this case, it seems to be the tale of the one game here tonight. Brisbane, they have been absolutely on song, and credit to the boys. They've really, really picked up from what was a horror week last week.
As Murray planted 25 metres from the line, 4th tackle. They go down the blind. Martin down the tram traps, get themselves into some good kicking position here. And here we go. The first attacking kick they've had for a while, and Davis puts it high up in the air. Oh, a absolute beautiful kick and a horror attempt at a pick up there from the Roosters. Rossini goes over for his first of the night, and what is most likely going to be... Oh, that was a complete miss from Snicko Bro there, Jordan.
Complete miss from Snicko Bro, and it looked like Jack Carl just got the tap back on that. Rossini finally working out that maybe the dummy half dart is not the way to get us to get a try if you want. You've just got to be on the ball as he was right there.
Well, here we go. 10 points to nil. 30 minutes left in the game. We're definitely not writing the Roosters off, but considering how hard it's come tonight to get points, they need to score quickly and they need to score soon, or they might find the Brisbane's Broncos running away with things tonight, Jordan.
You would think so, and I think that that's the exact same thought that Snicko Bros had. He's just had a word with his boys in the huddle, and from what I could gather, it seems like he was telling him, like, lads, the game's still on this. Let's not put up yet. But yeah, no, the ground tonight as well has been quite spongy that I've noticed just going down there at the half time. It's really making it difficult for this Roosters forward pack to really get in there and really get stuck into this game, I feel.
As Micaiah works his way up over the 30 for his second. Forwards linking up as Rossini darts out of dummy half there to get up over the 40. Getting a bit cocksure for himself there, making sure he's scored his own. He can dart up down the field. Give it to the prop, get him up over the 50. Brought down on the 50 there for his 4th. Rossini out of dummy half again, but he is pushed back, and Carl behind him is not looking happy with that, but they will push off down with a kick, and the Roosters will start their run themselves. Here we go. Can they get around the first line of defense? They cannot. They have locked down Chapman, and those Roosters wingers have had no luck at all tonight, Jordan.
They really haven't. And from what we could see from the halftime stats there as well, it really seems like they're getting the weight of the ball here for this Roosters outfit. It's not going to the middle. Which we thought was a bit strange that you wouldn't get it to your props, given that you've been locked in your own red zone for what has been the majority of the game there, Matt.
And we might see a 20-40 attempt here. Nope, McCuzzy, he just digs it and tries to borrow on up. Roosters, they are stuck in their 20 once more, making 18 meters that set. Jack Carr will be ecstatic, and I know those Broncos fans in the stadium definitely are, as Madden returns with the ball up over the 50. 26 minutes left in the game. Again, we don't want to harp on what's happening out there with the Roosters, but what do they need to do, Jordan? Because this is not the game plan they came to Suncorp tonight.
Well, if anything, I think that they've probably been thrown off a bit by that Shaq Daddy injury about 19 minutes in the first half. It's really thrown off their defence. We see Ryan, who's made a big break there and almost gets a try for his effort. But yeah, I don't know what's happened to this forward line. They've just seems like they've got one injury and they've just decided to pack it up here.
As Murray almost gets across. Oh, that was a beautiful ball to Jay, and we have the number 7 over for his first of the night. And again, it's only 25 minutes left, but I could almost say that is probably it. The Roosters, with the way things are going at the moment, will need one hell of a mammoth effort to get back into the game, Jordan.
Well, weirder things have happened in the game of rugby league, my friend. You should know this all too well. As, of course, we had a bit of a cracker game last week, us too. But no, absolutely, this is very worrying signs if you're a Roosters fan. And we can already see a couple of them have decided, no, it's just time. We're going to try and beat this Brisbane traffic, maybe make our way to Sunshine Coast and try and make a weekend of it, and maybe drown our sorrows at the Caxton before we go. But yeah, they're already starting to leave, and I would not blame them if they were doing so. The Roosters are still in this. It is only 16-0, and of course, 25 minutes left on the clock. We have seen bigger leads fall down in that time.
Very much so. As Buckley kicks off down the field, 16 plays 0, and oh, that was a well hit kick there as Murray is forced to bring it back 10 meters. I reckon if you tried to get Buckley to do that again, he would not be able to for the life of him there, Jordan.
That was a 1,000,000-to-1 kick. Buckley, mate, go get yourself a Tats Lotto ticket, brother. You've got some good luck on you for that one.
And I think Snicko Bro will be shouting to the refs to give him the 2 points for going up over the sticks as Dingo plays it on the 20. Murray forces his way up. The forwards, they're trying to get back out of there, but the Roosters, they are amping up right now, and they are going to force themselves back into this game through their defense. The Broncos, they don't even make their 40. Apparently it said 2 meters gained. I doubt that's true. But here we go. Buckley trying what he can, but he is met with some strong Broncos defense. The Roosters, Blaine darts out of dummy half. The Roosters, they need to do more than just those darts. They need to play with the ball a bit more because time is not on their side right now, Jordan.
That's absolutely right. We've been talking about how it's the 1%ers that win you the games, but at this point, get the ball to your halves, get them to create something out of nothing, because every single hit they've had in this set, it looks like they've been pushed back about 2 or 3 meters.
As well, there we go again. Schrodinger, they've made 19 meters off that set after some excellent field position, and the Broncos they've got the bit between their teeth and they are running rampant right now. Haddon stands there and looks at some fans for a bit before he finally walks up off the field and gets up over the 30. 1 minute until we see some props come off, and I don't know if that's going to be very good for the Roosters because some of those boys are looking quite tired out there, Jordan.
They were going down into the sheds at halftime. Quite a few of them were already sucking on the old super dupers. It is a very humid night up here in Brisbane, and that is contributing to the soft ground, of course, there as well. As we see Mackay making a huge break. What a good run from the young stallion. But yeah, no, it's absolutely been humid. It's been hot. These forwards, they're tired and, they're thinking about going home. But just as we said that this might be over for the Roosters, they've gotten a huge break there, Mac.
Oh, pick it up, Blaine. There he goes. He's picked it up and he's gone off. They looked like they tried a bit of a trick play without actually doing the trick behind the play as Snicko Bro darts out of dummy half, and they've wasted 2 tackles on the same blade of grass. Gooch sees half a gap and tries to squeeze through it, makes some good post-contact meters for his third. Blaine darting out of dummy half again and is met by 2 strong defenders. We're finally in the half of the Broncos, and Brev is absolutely smashed. So again, they had the chance that set, and they only made 24 meters for their trouble. It's a daunting stadium up here, fighting the Broncos, and it looks like it's going to be another one. Oh, here we go.
Oh!
Here we go. Just as we say it, the Roosters 6 again as well. Here we go. Who do they need to give it to, Jordan?
Oh, get it to Buckley. Honestly, he's had a bit of fortune, as I said, that he just gets tackled back there. They need to get it to their outside wingers. They have been the ones who have been absolutely firing up for them. Matthews, he'll be put on his back. But they need to stop going up the middle. That's where they're being killed by this Broncos outfit. Try and strike them on the sides, I would say.
And everyone out there is sucking in some air, getting a chance to gather their thoughts. Taking a while to make sure that, yes, he was actually put onto his back. There was more Broncos around him than anyone had any right to have. As we've got Blaine linking up with a skew. There was a little bit of something happening there with the ball, but he comes fine with it, 5 meters out, third tackle. They've got both sides to work with, and Blaine decides to dart out himself. And he is put onto his back as well. So that'll be his 4th tackle. The Roosters, they're getting a little bit of white line fever. And, well, Snicko Bro does not look happy, Jordan.
Oh, no, he's arguing with the referee. Can't you see it? He's touched the chalk, he's saying. He's touched the chalk, says old Snicko. But no try. That was pretty clear up here as well. Now, Dane Blaine, he seems to be going for a little bit of a faint play. Even there from Snicko, he's tried the same thing, trying to make the Broncos think that there's a penalty involved and try and get through and make a line break that way. Doesn't seem to have worked, though.
Oh, here comes Schrodinger. Schrodinger is put onto his back. So, again, really, really hard defense there from the Broncos. And the Roosters, they really don't have much to say in terms of how they can get past them, Jordan.
No, and time is very, very quickly becoming the enemy. We're heading into 16 minutes left in the half, so they're going to have to score a point a minute here. And not just that, but keep this Broncos outfit from marching upfield like they are here. Second tackle, they're already at the 30 nearly.
As Rossini darts out and is brought down about 3 meters from where the ball was played. Davis decides to do the same. Bit of a dummy there, gets a bit further than Rossini did. 4th tackle, they might try a 40-20 here to improve their field position, and Jay does just that. Boots it, doesn't have the length, however, and Snicko Bro will be returning the ball if he was returning the ball. Unfortunately, he is forced back, and with 15 minutes left, the Roosters, they will be fighting for some consolation points because it's pretty much fated they're going to lose this one tonight. They do not want to go home with a 0 in their ledger, Jordan.
No, you do not. You don't want that duck egg. That's probably one of the worst things that could ever happen in rugby league, particularly when you're in front of a parochial crowd, such as you get up here in Brisbane. But honestly, there's not much Sydney could have really done. They got a very unfortunate injury early into the game. This Broncos outfit has just been, absolutely wanting to make up for lost ground last week. And I think they've done just that. This crowd is absolutely on their feet. They're roaring, they're screaming everything for the Broncos. And hopefully that we can just see something happen to just make it look a little bit closer than this one.
As Martin gets what he does and does his best to get up over the 40, 3rd tackle. The Broncos, they are wanting to put the foot down on the neck. They want to go home with another one and ruin the bets of quite a few people out there pushing it into the 19-plus territory. Lee, as you said earlier, had a bit of a quiet night tonight. Didn't score as many as he did last week, but I imagine some of his defensive efforts are probably why the Broncos are where they are tonight, Jordan.
No, they absolutely have been. And I think when you're, when you're one of your props or someone who's come on into that prop role rotation is your leading scorer, there's something going wrong. He has absolutely come back into this, and he has absolutely found his feet in defence tonight. And honestly, defence wins premierships. I've said that a million times to one. Anyone who's been who's played under a team that I've captained knows I will talk and talk and talk about how you need to shore up the defence, bend don't break, that kind of thing. And this is just proof of it. Defence has won Brisbane the game tonight.
Here we go. The Roosters, they're still fighting out of their half. They might try a 40-20 here because they can't get much further as try askew. A 30-40 effort there as Ash Crutcher comes up with it and is forced back, and that was a bit of a nothing kick. With 10 minutes left on the clock, it's probably best to look forward to next week as we got Rossini coming off down the field. We'll hold off on that thought just for a second there as he plays it on the 30. Going across with Dingo, good ball to Phillips. He gets up to 23, 24 meters out. Rossini darts out of dummy again. Doesn't really get much further, and he's forced back to the 20 for his fourth. Very slow play of the ball there, but Jay passes it off to Phillips, to Martin, getting themselves straight in the middle, 10 meters out. Fifth tackle. They can go either way. They choose to come this one. Davis puts it high, puts it very high, I should say. Good tap back, but Dolan comes up with it, and the vice-captain saves what would have been a certain try if Liam Ryan could get his hands on that ball there, Jordan.
Well, absolutely. I don't know what happened there. The Broncos' kick chase return just was not there. And obviously the Roosters, they saw it coming. They saw it coming a mile away. So credit where it's due. The boys have not really given up, even though the game's already gone.
So now that we're entering our 8th minute left, we can talk about what's happening next week for these two teams. We'll start with the Roosters. They are up against the Cowboys next week, and oh my God, what the hell was that kick?
Well, someone's been watching SRL 1.0, the Canberra Raiders versus the Cowboys, it seems. Or they were probably watching last week because that kick was... it looks like an attempted box kick. He's just kicked it dead flat.
And... oh, well, they're not going to show us what happened there, but here come the Roosters. So we'll power on. So the Roosters, they've got the Cowboys next week, and the Cowboys, they've had some pretty strong attack themselves. So does Snicko need to change anything, or does he just need to write this week off as a bit of a lost one and go again to see what can happen?
Well, I know Snicko, and I know that he likes to be a bit adventurous with how he changes things up. If I was having a look at it, I'd be looking to see what can I do to change up that prop rotation. Fitness is an issue, and if one of your star props is getting hurt 20 minutes into the game, something's going wrong there, and maybe that's something they can look at. If they can get the defense on point, they'd probably win that game, I'd say.
And on the other side of the ledger, the Broncos, after a victory tonight, will be up against the Tigers next week. Now, the Tigers, they chalked up their first victory last week, and without having seen what's happened this week, we don't know if it's back-to-back wins for the Tigers, but they will be raring and ready to go against this hot, firing Broncos team, Jordan.
Oh, they absolutely will. I think any team that plays Brisbane will absolutely want to put one up on them. But look, if I'm the Broncos, I'm looking at this week and going, right, well, what we've got here has worked. We need to make sure that we just knock down this defense even further. If we can do that, we can beat anyone in the league.
As the Roosters again struggling to make it over the 50. Try askew, kicking it back down over the head of the Broncos. Madden there. Turns around and is met. That is some good kick chase defense there from the Roosters. And with about 4, maybe 5 minutes left, they're probably only going to have 2 or 3 chances at a good attacking set. Playing a hit here. Davis, long ball out to Micaiah, but he is pushed back as well. The defense is finally amping itself up. They can't even get to the 20. Davis, again, good ball to Phillips. The Broncos, they look like they're angling up to do a kick down the field, and here we go with Jay. A lovely purchase on the ball. It's got to the 40. It's rolling. That's just phenomenal there from the Broncos. They're in the lead. There's no chance they're going to lose, and already they've got a 20-40 to their name there for Caleb Jay.
A very phenomenally weighted kick there from Caleb. And that's the sign of a real championship team, one that just does not put the rack in the queue. The queue in the rack. Famous gaffer from week one, that one. But doesn't put the queue in the rack there, even though they're up 16-0. Most coaches would tell you just grind this one out and make sure that we get to full time with no mistakes. But if you're willing to put an attack on this late in, that's a good sign of a championship team. As we see Lee, he's knocked on.
Knocked on. Oh, double knocked on. Oh, here we go. Bit of a glitch here. They so excited they decided to pass it off on to a bro. Oh, bro was almost off down the field. But again, it's a forward. It's a prop who brings him down. And isn't that the story of the night, Jordan?
Absolutely. The outside backs have just been killed up the middle. We've said it time and time again. But yeah, there's nothing else that really can be said there. This defense has just absolutely won Brisbane the game.
As Blaine darts out a dummy half to get up over the 40, fourth tackle. They need a good push here to get an attacking kick at the end of this set, because this will probably be their last, and it is definitely going to be their last. Because, well, that there basically sums up exactly what happened to the Roosters tonight. Best opportunities they possibly could have, and unfortunately, just not really in their luck tonight, Jordan.
No, the footy gods have not been smiling on Sydney tonight. In that case, they've given them a little bit of a bone to throw, but yeah, that's been missing all night for Sydney. And yeah, if I'm a fan of theirs, I'm wondering where that was.
As Matthews plays the ball on the halfway. Blaine darts out a dummy half. They make about 1 meter off that play, and this will probably be it. They'll get the ball to someone. Nope, Snicko's come out of it. He's pushed back. If he can play the ball, he won't. That's it. Broncos have won their second match of the season, and they are loving it out there. You can see how ecstatic they are. 16 points to 0, and Suncorp is screaming out there, Jordan.
Absolutely right. If you wouldn't know better, you'd say the Broncos have just won the grand final, because that's how loud this crowd is tonight, AMAC. As we can see that having a look at the stats, not really much has changed. It's still been pretty dead even across the board, except for the weight of possession in the metres gained.
Yep. 3 tries, of course, on the ledger there for the Broncos. None, unfortunately, there for the Roosters. 7 errors, 5 errors. Broncos making more errors and still coming away with the win is very telling when it comes to the attacking prowess of their forward pack tonight, Jordan.
No, absolutely. Now, this game, obviously, it's a game of moments, as I like to say. Even if you're making more errors, that can be expected when the weight of possession is nearly 60%. So it's not necessarily the amount of errors that you have in that case, it's what you do with them. And the Roosters just did nothing with them. As we'll have a look at some individual stats here. I'll let you go through those, AMAC, but I can only imagine it's carnage.
And of course, thankfully, we're looking at the Broncos first. So we're going to be seeing some decent stats coming out of them in a second. As here we go. Starting at the top. Of course, you can't go past Captain Carl. 117 run meters in his in his stint as a lock. 26 tackles. He only missed 2. 3 kicks of his own, so he shared some of the kicking duties with his two halves. But when Carl stands up, you know the rest of the Broncos follow him through there, Jordan.
Absolutely, and that's the sign of a great team. There is you go by what the captain does, and if the captain does exactly what he tells you to do, then you follow him to the death. Another standout, of course, Liam Ryan, 144 run meters. It wasn't that long into it. In the second half, he was just barely above 70. So he's absolutely stepped up in that second half. And Jed Davis, 145 as your number 6 is phenomenal there.
Yep, and of course, 6 kicks for 243 is nothing to be sniffed at. Micaiah, 128, came back on not just as a prop. I think he came on as that final lock stint as well, and definitely filled in for some good run meters. But if we go down to Caleb J, here we go, our 2040 kicker, 156 run meters, 11 tackles himself, a line break, 5 kicks, 210. couple of errors. We'll just ignore those because the skill he showed out there more than makes up for some of those errors that Jay had. As we keep going down, Kai Madden, 112. Rossini, 149 out of dummy half. Only 28 tackles, which is a bit light on for some of the tackling duties that a dummy half usually has to make. But again, with the amount of attack that the Broncos had tonight, you can understand why there isn't very many tallies in that tackle column.
No, that's absolutely right. And before we go on to the Roosters, I do want to highlight the debutant, the leaguey, only 17 minutes, but still managed to make 31 runs. That is a great little knock from the young prop forward. Hopefully we see a bit more from him in the future there as well.
As, of course, we come over to the Roosters. A bit sad for them tonight. Ross Buckley, 133 run meters, 5 tackles, couple of missed, 4 line breaks. Probably best on the field out there tonight for the Roosters, as Snicko Bro tried his best to rally his team, but wasn't able to crack 100 meters there. And in fact, it looks like Ross Buckley was the only Rooster out there who was able to crack 100 run meters tonight, Jordan.
Absolutely. Give him the key to the Sydney Opera House because he was the shining light in what was an abysmal game from the Roosters. Absolutely. That's actually the sign of a really good player in my eyes, one that stands up no matter how bad the result's looking. Justin Dolan as well, 86 meters run. I was expecting a bit more from him there, but 296 kick meters from 8. That's pretty good there as well.
Yep, and there was a couple of times that he was able to diffuse an attacking set here and there, and really stop the points from tallying higher than the 16 that they are up there. So probably not back to the drawing board for Snicko Bro and his Roosters outfit tonight, but definitely questions to be asked heading into their match next week against the Cows. And that's it from us here tonight, Monday Night Football here at Suncorp Stadium. Broncos well-deserved winners against the Sydney Roosters tonight. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon.